In the shadowy realm of personality types, Sigma males lurk as enigmatic figures, shunning societal norms and defying conventional labels. Often misunderstood or overlooked in discussions dominated by more prominent types like Alpha or Beta. Sigma males embody a unique blend of independence, introspection, and a penchant for solitude. Their aloof demeanor and preference for autonomy mask a deeper complexity that evades easy categorization. The unspoken realities of Sigma males reveal a narrative of individuals who navigate life's landscapes on their terms, eschewing conformity for authenticity. While some may perceive them as elusive or distant, Sigma males harbor a rich inner world characterized by deep introspection and a deliberate detachment from social hierarchies. This breed of men challenges traditional definitions of success and fulfillment, opting instead for paths less traveled where personal growth and intellectual pursuits reign supreme. Yet, beneath their quiet exterior lies a steadfast resolve and a keen awareness of their place within the broader tapestry of human interaction, a testament to the quiet strength that defines the Sigma male persona. Number 25. During a solo camping trip in the remote wilderness, I pitched my tent by a tranquil lake, seeking solitude under a canopy of stars. As night fell, a sense of tranquility enveloped me until I heard faint whispers outside my tent. At first dismissing them as the rustling of leaves or trick of the wind, the whispers persisted, softly calling my name in the darkness. Every nerve on edge, I cautiously unzipped the tent, expecting to find nothing but the quiet night. Instead, the whispering intensified, seeming to echo from the surrounding woods. Heart racing, I quickly packed up, abandoning my campsite at dawn. Though I returned home safely, the memory of those haunting whispers lingered, leaving me unsettled by the thought of camping alone again. Number 24. While staying at a small, isolated hotel during a business trip, I settled in for the night, grateful for the quiet after a long day. As I drifted off to sleep, I heard what sounded like faint breathing outside my window. Initially chalking it up to imagination, the rhythmic sound persisted, growing louder with each passing minute. Nerves on edge, I cautiously approached the window, expecting to see an explanation, a tree branch perhaps, or an animal. Instead, the darkness revealed nothing but the stillness of the night. I shut the curtains tightly, yet the sensation of being watched persisted until morning. Despite the hotel's remote location and assurances of safety, I found myself restless and uneasy, haunted by the inexplicable presence just beyond the glass. Number 23. Working the night shift at a 24-hour convenience store, I often encountered peculiar customers and odd occurrences, but one night stood out. A man with a disconcertingly wide smile entered just before closing, his eyes fixed on me as he silently roamed the aisles. He left without a purchase, yet his presence lingered unnervingly. Reviewing the security footage later, I was startled to find moments where he seemed to appear and disappear inexplicably, leaving me questioning what I had witnessed and the nature of reality in those solitary hours. Number 22. Exploring old, abandoned places with friends was our idea of adventure, so when we stumbled upon a derelict mansion deep in the woods, curiosity got the better of us. The air was thick with dust and the scent of decay as we ventured inside, our footsteps echoing through empty corridors. Amidst the peeling wallpaper and creaking floorboards, we discovered a room filled with dusty old journals, their pages yellowed with age and ink faded. As we pored over the entries, detailing the lives of past inhabitants and their mysterious disappearances, a chill settled in the air. We left hastily, haunted by the echoes of whispers and fleeting shadows that seemed to follow us out. Number 21. During a weekend stay at a remote cabin, we gathered around the crackling campfire, sharing tales of local legends. As the fire dwindled and darkness enveloped us, we heard faint, eerie sounds echoing through the woods, strange, rhythmic hoof prints circling our campsite. At dawn, we found inexplicable hoof prints etched into the ground, their origin and meaning shrouded in mystery. Though we laughed nervously, dismissing it as folklore come to life, the memory of those hoof prints lingered, a reminder that some legends may hold truth stranger than fiction. Number 20. While on a road trip through unfamiliar terrain, my car suddenly broke down in the dead of night, leaving me stranded in an eerie silence. Panic rising, I scanned the desolate surroundings until a figure emerged from the shadows, an elderly man with weathered features and a solemn expression. He offered assistance without a word, his presence both comforting and unsettling. With his help, I managed to get the car running again, but as I thanked him, he simply nodded and disappeared into the darkness. Shaken yet grateful, I continued my journey, haunted by the encounter and wondering about the mysterious stranger who appeared when I needed help the most. Number 19. During a road trip across the countryside, I stopped at a deserted rest stop late at night to stretch my legs. The air was thick with an eerie silence as I wandered near the abandoned building, its windows boarded up and doors rusted shut. Just as I turned to leave, a menacing figure emerged from the shadows, a tall, shadowy silhouette with piercing eyes that seemed to glow in the moonlight. Frozen in fear, I watched as it approached, its steps echoing ominously on the pavement. With adrenaline coursing through my veins, I sprinted back to my car, heart pounding with the chilling realization that I was not alone in that desolate place. Number 18. While staying at a friend's cabin nestled deep in the mountains, I woke to the sound of persistent knocking on the door at 3 a.m. Heart racing, I cautiously approached the door, expecting to find my friend returning unexpectedly. Instead, there was only darkness outside, accompanied by an unsettling silence broken only by the echoes of my own heartbeat. Peering through the peephole, I saw nothing but the dense forest beyond. Uneasy yet reluctant to wake my friend, I spent the rest of the night on edge, haunted by the unanswered question of who or what had sought entry into our isolated refuge. Number 17. During a late-night shift at my office building, I stepped into the elevator to head home, exhausted after a long day. As the doors closed, I felt a sudden chill despite the warmth of the enclosed space. Glancing at the reflection in the mirrored walls, I froze. A shadowy figure stood behind me, its features obscured by darkness. Heart pounding, I turned around, only to find the elevator empty. Shaken, I hurried out as soon as the doors opened, the memory of that unsettling encounter lingering long after I had left the building. Number 16. One evening, while sitting on my porch and enjoying the cool breeze, I noticed a car parked down the street with its headlights off. It seemed out of place in our quiet neighborhood, but I brushed it off as a visitor waiting for someone. As the night wore on, however, the car remained unmoved. Growing uneasy, I considered calling the police, but before I could act, the headlights suddenly switched on, casting an eerie glow down the street. The car sped off into the night, leaving me with a sense of unease. Days later, I spotted the same car parked outside my house again, this time staying for hours before disappearing. The unsettling pattern left me wondering about the mysterious occupants and their intentions in our seemingly tranquil community. Number 15. While driving through a rural area late at night, I noticed a car following me. No matter how many turns I made or detours I attempted, it stayed relentlessly behind me. My heart raced as I took a desperate turn into a dark alley, hoping to lose it. To my horror, the car stopped at the alley entrance and switched off its lights. I held my breath, watching the silhouette of the driver sitting motionless. Minutes passed like hours until suddenly, the car revved its engine and sped away, shaken to the core. I struggled to sleep for weeks, haunted by the unanswered questions of who was following me and why. Number 14. One summer evening, I ventured into an old, abandoned building on the outskirts of town with a group of friends. The air was thick with dust and the scent of decay as we navigated crumbling hallways and shattered windows. Amidst the debris, we discovered a weathered journal hidden in a forgotten corner, its pages filled with cryptic writings and sketches of strange symbols. As we delved deeper, piecing together the fragmented history of the building and its former inhabitants. A sense of unease settled over us. Shadows seemed to flicker at the periphery of our vision, and distant whispers echoed through the empty corridors. We left hastily, the journal clutched tightly in hand, haunted by the mysteries we had uncovered. Number 13. During a weekend getaway to a remote cabin with friends, we stumbled upon a tattered map tucked away in an old chest hidden beneath the floorboards. The map, yellowed with age and adorned with faded ink, depicted intricate trails leading into uncharted wilderness. Intrigued by the possibility of undiscovered treasures or forgotten landmarks, we embarked on a journey into the dense forest, following the map's cryptic instructions. As we navigated through towering trees and rugged terrain, a sense of anticipation grew with each step. Yet the deeper we ventured, the more the atmosphere shifted. Ominous whispers seemed to float on the breeze, and strange markings appeared on ancient trees. Despite our initial excitement, unease crept in, urging us to reconsider our quest for hidden secrets in the heart of the wilderness. Number 12. Working the night shift at our town's only diner was usually quiet, but one night I noticed a man sitting in a booth, staring at me. His intense gaze sent a chill down my spine as I went about my duties, serving customers and trying to ignore his unsettling presence. Hours passed, and each time I glanced in his direction, he remained fixed in his seat, never speaking or ordering anything. As the night wore on, a sense of unease settled over me, compounded by his unwavering stare. Just before closing, I approached him cautiously, asking if he needed anything. Without a word, he slid a weathered journal across the table towards me, a journal filled with accounts of strange occurrences and eerie encounters, many of them detailing events that had taken place in the diner itself. Shocked and unnerved, I looked up to find the booth empty. The mysterious man vanished without a trace. The journal remained, its pages a chilling reminder of the inexplicable events that unfolded that night. Number 11. In the quiet of night, a distant cry for help pierced the air, seemingly from a direction I knew held no trails or campsites. Curiosity mingled with unease. I grabbed a flashlight and cautiously ventured into the darkness. The forest seemed to hold its breath as I followed the sound, my footsteps echoing in the silence. Soon, I stumbled upon a clearing where an old, abandoned cabin stood, its windows shattered and door ajar. Inside, the air was heavy with dust and neglect, yet amidst the debris, I found a journal, its pages filled with desperate pleas for rescue, dated decades ago. A chill ran down my spine as I realized the voice I had heard was not from the present but an echo of the past, trapped within the walls of that forsaken place. Number 10. As dusk settled over the campsite, we discovered a surreal sight, a tree adorned with fish hanging from its branches, glinting in the fading light. Bewildered and intrigued, we approached cautiously, searching for any logical explanation. The fish were fresh, as if recently caught, yet there were no signs of a nearby stream or lake. Unease crept in as we pondered the eerie display, wondering who or what could have placed them there. The atmosphere around the campfire that night was tinged with an uneasy tension, our conversations revolving around unsettling theories and unspoken fears of the unknown. Number 9. Working the night shift at our town's only diner was usually quiet, but one night I noticed a man sitting in a booth, staring at me. His intense gaze sent a chill down my spine as I went about my duties, serving customers and trying to ignore his unsettling presence. Hours passed, and each time I glanced in his direction, he remained fixed in his seat, never speaking or ordering anything. As the night wore on, a sense of unease settled over me, compounded by his unwavering stare. Just before closing, I approached him cautiously, asking if he needed anything. Without a word, he slid a weathered journal across the table towards me, a journal filled with accounts of strange occurrences and eerie encounters, many of them detailing events that had taken place in the diner itself. Shocked and unnerved, I looked up to find the booth empty. The mysterious man vanished without a trace. The journal remained, its pages a chilling reminder of the inexplicable events that unfolded that night. Number 8. Their active minds make sleep elusive. For Sigma men, sleep often feels like a rare luxury. Their minds, always racing with thoughts and ideas, refuse to quiet down at night. As others wind down, they're just getting started remembering tasks forgotten, replaying conversations, or brainstorming new ideas. This mental hyperactivity, while beneficial for creativity and problem-solving, becomes a nightly struggle. Hours can pass as they toss and turn, sometimes giving in to work or projects well into the early morning. The toll is real. Lack of sleep leaves them drained, even as their minds continue to churn with activity. Number 7. Questioning useless rules can stir workplace conflicts. Sigma men aren't rebels without a cause, but they can't abide by pointless regulations or needless bureaucracy. When they encounter a rule hindering efficiency or making no sense, they're quick to speak up. Their intent isn't rebellion but improvement, streamlining processes, suggesting alternatives, or cutting through red tape. While this often leads to innovation and efficiency gains, it can also ruffle feathers. Managers may view them as troublemakers, colleagues might perceive them as show-offs, and HR might step in if tensions escalate. Finding the balance between challenging the status quo and respecting workplace norms is a constant challenge, where Sigma men must pick their battles wisely to effect change without alienating others. Number 6. They're excellent listeners but struggle to open up. Sigma men excel at listening patiently, hearing out others, asking insightful questions, and understanding deeply. Yet, when it comes to their own feelings and thoughts, they often hit a wall. They don't easily share their inner world, not out of distrust but because they process internally. To them, verbalizing emotions or problems feels unnecessary when they can handle it solo. This self-reliance can make relationships challenging, as partners or friends may perceive them as distant or uncommunicative. Despite their ability to empathize and support others, Sigma men find it difficult to reciprocate in sharing their own vulnerabilities, preferring to maintain a stoic exterior. Number 5. They can lead effectively but avoid the spotlight. Sigma men possess natural leadership skills but don't seek the limelight. When crises arise or projects falter, they step up with calm authority, efficiently resolving issues and guiding teams toward success. Their leadership style emphasizes action over words, preferring to lead by example rather than seek praise or attention. This modest approach to leadership can be misunderstood in environments where visibility and self-promotion are valued. Colleagues might perceive them as aloof or disinterested, while higher-ups may overlook their contributions due to their preference for behind-the-scenes effectiveness. Finding the balance between impactful leadership and personal humility is crucial for Sigma men navigating organizational dynamics. Number 4. Their confidence is often mistaken for arrogance. Sigma men exude quiet confidence, comfortable in their own skin without needing external validation. They assert their opinions without hesitation, unafraid to challenge norms or present alternative viewpoints. However, this self-assurance can be misconstrued as arrogance or indifference by those accustomed to more outward displays of insecurity or humility. In professional settings, they may clash with authority figures or colleagues who interpret their confidence as defiance or disrespect. Similarly, in personal relationships, potential partners may find their straightforwardness off-putting or misinterpret their lack of flattery as disinterest. Despite their genuine belief in their ideas and capabilities, Sigma men often find themselves navigating perceptions of aloofness or superiority in social and professional circles. Number 3. They despise small talk but find themselves trapped in it. Sigma men crave meaningful interactions and intellectual stimulation, making superficial conversations like small talk feel suffocating. Engaging in discussions about trivialities or popular culture topics feels like wearing a mask, forcing them to participate in exchanges that lack depth or significance. Despite their discomfort, they recognize the social necessity of small talk in lubricating everyday interactions. or avoiding it risks being labeled as antisocial or distant, while enduring it feels like a draining performance. This dichotomy leaves Sigma men feeling frustrated and out of place, torn between their desire for genuine connection and the social conventions that prioritize superficial pleasantries. Number 2, they're seen as secretive but simply dislike explaining themselves. Sigma men often earn a reputation for being mysterious or enigmatic, though they have no intention of appearing so. They find the process of explaining their thoughts, actions, or decisions exhausting and unnecessary. It's not about hiding secrets or maintaining a facade, rather, they value mental efficiency and prefer to operate on their own wavelength. This aversion to unnecessary explanation can backfire, leading others to fill in the gaps with assumptions and misconceptions. Colleagues or friends may perceive them as more complex or secretive than they truly are, attributing motives or characteristics that don't align with their straightforward nature. Despite their preference for efficiency, Sigma men often find themselves inadvertently cultivating an aura of mystery simply by avoiding the need to justify every aspect of their being. Number 1, their blunt honesty can unintentionally hurt feelings. Sigma men are known for their unfiltered honesty, a trait that can be both refreshing and challenging for those around them. They prioritize truth over tact, believing that honesty, even when uncomfortable, serves a greater good. Whether critiquing a haircut or challenging an idea at work, they deliver their opinions directly and without sugarcoating. While their intentions are genuine, believing that clarity and truthfulness foster growth and understanding, many people find their straightforwardness unsettling. Accustomed to social niceties and diplomatic responses, others may perceive Sigma men as harsh or insensitive, even when their feedback is constructive. This disconnect between intention and perception can lead to strained relationships or a reputation for being abrasive, despite their commitment to authenticity. Negotiating the balance between honesty and empathy remains a perpetual challenge for Sigma men navigating social norms and interpersonal dynamics. Thank you for your attention. You can now become a member of the channel by clicking the join button under this video.